Need repels value. Presence attracts it. That's the line, my friends. If you hold it in your chest tonight, everything changes. Here's the hook. They don't come back because you chase. They come back because your gravity returns. That's the whole twist. And before we go any deeper, quick favor, tap like and hit subscribe. It keeps this message alive and it costs you nothing. All right, let's do this together. Hey folks, imagine this. You're a lighthouse on a rocky coast at night. Ships don't come because you swim after them, screaming across the waves. They come because you stand tall, steady, bright. Your calm becomes the map. When you stop flickering for attention, people recalibrate to you. Another picture. Think of a wrapped gift under a tree. The mystery makes your fingers itch to open it. But if the box is already ripped and the tape is falling off, there's no excitement. That's what oversharing, chasing and begging does to your energy. It tears the paper before anyone earns the unwrapping. Hard truth time, my friends. We were taught a lie. If I show more need, they'll finally understand. No, need is hunger dressed up as love. It pushes, it pleads, it proves. Love stands, love chooses, love respects your peace and asks for entry. When you flood their phone, their feed and their mind, you take away the oxygen that desire needs to burn. Desire hates a crowd. It needs space. It needs silence. It needs room to wonder. Let me break another lie while we're here. Silence is a game. No, silence is a boundary. Games try to trick people. Boundaries teach people who you are. You're not punishing anyone. You're protecting your dignity. You're choosing standards over spikes of emotion. You're saying, I won't audition for a role I've already lived. Picture a garden. If you tug the plant because you want it taller today, you kill the roots. But if you water the soil, give it light, and let it breathe, it rises on its own. Your life is the soil. Your routines are the water. Your purpose is the sun. When you care for those, you grow. And when you grow, they notice. That's not magic. That's math. Quick smile moment, folks. You are not a pizza tracker. You don't have to provide live updates. Out for delivery. Arriving soon. I'm thinking of you again at 1:07 p.m. Keep some mystery. Share themes, not play-by-plays. Had a strong day. Workout done. Work shipped done. You're not withholding. You're maturing. Here's a quote to tattoo on your decisions tonight. I control inputs, not outcomes. You control your breath, your posture, your sleep, your replies, your environment, your effort, your standards. You do not control their moods, their timing, or their sudden epiphanies. But when your inputs are powerful, outcomes often follow. People are drawn to order. Calm reads as strength. Focus reads as value. And value is attractive. If they left, it doesn't mean you are unlovable. It means you're about to meet the version of you that never begs again. Let them feel the gap. Let the absence do the talking for a while. In that quiet, your identity gets louder. You become the person you would chase. That's the point. Be the human you'd text back first. So here's your invitation, my friends. Breathe. Shoulders down. Jaw unclench. Tonight, choose one small proof of power. A walk, a workout, a tidy room, a to-do checked off, a phone left in another room for an hour. Stack easy wins. Stack them daily. That's how gravity grows. Drop this in the comments so it sticks. I am chosen. Then press like, hit subscribe, and stay with me because the next moves will turn your calm into a signal they cannot ignore. Number 1. Stop proving, start becoming. Stop proving your worth to people who already benefited from doubting it. My friends, let that line land. This first move isn't about them at all. It's about you ending the performance and beginning the embodiment. Picture this. You're on a cliff at dawn, sea roaring, wind slapping your face. Far out, their ship fades in and out of fog. Instinct tells you to sprint the coastline, wave flares, scream their name. But lighthouses don't sprint. They stand. They become a reference point so clean and steady that captains recalibrate without a single argument. That's your work now. Stop auditioning and become a landmark. You might be thinking, what if they forget me? What if silence makes them move on? That fear is real, folks. It's your nervous system trying to protect you from uncertainty. But here's the math of desire. People don't miss what never leaves. If you hover, they never get to feel the gap. If you keep pouring attention like water on a flame that needs oxygen, you smother the very fire you want to grow. Those just thinking of you pings feel sweet for a second, but it's like tearing the wrapping off a gift before anyone earns the ribbon. Mystery leaks out. When mystery leaks, curiosity dies. Consider another angle. Your energy is a radio station. Panic, chasing, over-explaining, that's static at full blast. They can't hear your music through the noise. Stoicism turns the dial until the song comes through clean. Calmer voice, slower breath, purposeful movements, choices that serve standards instead of spikes of emotion. It's not a costume, it's a calibration. Ask yourself, if a stranger watched me for an hour, would they know what I value without me saying a word? If the answer is no, perfect. Today becomes the hinge. Let's break a lie together. They'll understand my love if I show them more need. No, need is hunger dressed as love. It doesn't communicate devotion, it broadcasts doubt. Another lie, silence is manipulation. Wrong again. Games try to trick people. Boundaries tell the truth about you. Your silence isn't punishment, it's policy. It says, I won't crowd you and I won't crowd myself. I'm not a billboard begging for attention. I'm a standard that attention earns. When they meet your steadiness, they'll either step up into it or quietly step out of your way. Either outcome is a win because your peace is finally non-negotiable. I know the fear under your ribs. If I don't do something today, I'll lose them forever. Look at where doing something from panic has taken you. Loops of over-texting, oversharing, over-apologizing for things that didn't break your values. That isn't love, that's bargaining with your dignity. The Stoic move is brutal and simple. Control inputs, release outcomes. You manage your breath, your sleep, your schedule, your training, your kindness, your reply pace, your environment. You do not manage their moods, their speed, or their storyline. When your inputs are disciplined, your presence shifts from grabby to grounded. Grounded people are rare. Rare is magnetic. Garden time, because the metaphor is perfect. Pulling on a stem doesn't make a flower grow, it snaps the neck. Watering the soil does. Your soil is your daily life. Water looks like this: body cared for, room tidy, craft practiced, skill sharpened, meals that fuel you, a walk that unknots your mind, a circle that mirrors standards, not chaos. When the ground is rich, your scent travels. Bees arrive without being begged. That's not magic, that's nature. You might protest, but they'll think I don't care. Caring without self-respect reads like chaos. Calm is care in its grown-up form. Picture a chessboard. Beginners fling pieces, trying to force checkmate. Masters control the center. They build quiet power one square at a time, and the board starts working for them. That's you now. Control the center, your center, and the game tilts without fireworks. The best part, you stop needing their move to feel like you're winning. You already are. Why is this so hard? Because your biology loves the dopamine of pursuit. Every maybe they'll reply thought gives a tiny buzz. It feels like progress. It's a slot machine disguised as romance. Stoicism interrupts the spin. Trade the gamble for guarantees, a finished workout, a shipped task, a clean kitchen, an early bedtime, a deep talk with a friend who has receipts. Boring to the ego, irresistible to your long-term power. Stack those wins and your voice changes, lower, slower, carrying weight. When you speak from weight, you don't need paragraphs. One warm line is more than a page of pleading. Hope you're well. Full stop. Then you return to the life that's finally moving. Thermostat versus thermometer. A thermometer reflects the room. A thermostat sets the room. When reactive, you mirror their temperature. Hot when they're hot, cold when they pull away. When you're the thermostat, you choose the setting and hold it. People who want that climate stay. People who crave volatility wander. You didn't lose anything there. You learned your freedom. Here's the honesty that saves months. If they only respond to panic, scarcity and chaos, they're addicted to the wrong weather. Let them chase storms. You become sky. That isn't superiority, it's sobriety. Your nervous system finally gets a quiet house to live in. And from that quiet, something beautiful happens. You become the person you would text back first. That's the assignment. Not, how do I convince them, but how do I live so I would choose me again? So what rises when the fear settles? You walk into rooms slower. You answer messages later and lighter. You share themes, not itineraries. Your schedule speaks for you. Training logged, work moved forward, kindness offered, sleep protected. When they notice, and they will, you won't spike. You'll observe. Consistency over chemistry, repair over romance, clarity over nostalgia. If they match the standard, great. If they don't, you won't collapse. You'll nod, breathe, continue. Power without noise, attraction without chasing. Show them, show yourself, and show the world around you what composure looks like in motion. Not brittle, not bitter, but bright and busy with your own becoming. Yes, they may come back and they may beg. But by then, you'll carry a better question. Does this return honor the person I've become? That's how you win twice. Type this in the comments to lock it in. I hold my frame. Say it out loud. Wear it as your next choice. Let your calm do the talking. Stay close. The next part turns your daily rituals into a signal they can't ignore. Number 2, create the power vacuum. Presence is loudest when you stop shouting. My friends, this is where you let absence do work that arguments never could. Think of desire like a flame. It doesn't grow because you blow on it with panic. It grows because you give it oxygen. The power vacuum is that oxygen, the intentional space where your attention steps back, your dignity steps forward, and their mind starts asking questions you don't have to ask them. Picture a quiet room at midnight. A clock ticks, a single candle flickers. The smallest movement becomes huge in that silence. That's the effect you create when you stop filling the air with updates, explanations, and emotional noise. Your stillness magnifies your signal. You'll feel the urge to break it. I know. The nervous system grabs the phone like a lifeline. What if they think I don't care? What if they forget me? Catch that voice. It's not truth, it's turbulence. When you rush to interrupt the quiet, you rescue them from the lesson, the realization that your presence was not a given, that your energy used to fill the room, and now the room echoes. People do not miss what never leaves. Constant availability turns you into wallpaper, always there, rarely seen. Step back, and suddenly the wall is a window. Let's put it in a metaphor you'll remember. You are a radio tower on a hill. When you're desperate, you crank the volume but distort the signal. It becomes static, loud but unclear. The power vacuum is you dropping the volume and sharpening the frequency. You say less, you move slower, Your replies are warm and brief. You share themes, not itineraries. You don't post to get spotted. You live to get stronger. Silence doesn't say, "I'm angry." Silence says, "I'm occupied." It says, "My life is in motion whether you're tuned in or not." Here's the lie we're breaking today. If I don't remind them I exist, they'll stop wanting me. No, wanting doesn't need reminders, it needs room. Another lie. Distance is petty. Wrong. Distance is precise. It protects your nervous system and pressures the truth to speak. If they were only there for convenience, they drift. If they were there for you, they notice the drop and recalibrate. Either outcome is a win because you're no longer paying with self-respect to keep attention on life support. Why is the vacuum hard to hold? Biology and habit. Your brain loves the quick hit, the ping, the reply, the little green dot lighting up. That micro-reward feels like progress. It's a slot machine disguised as connection. Stoicism trades the slot machine for systems. You choose inputs that don't need anyone's cooperation. Train your body, organize your space, advance your craft, deepen your friendships. Sleep like it's sacred. A life with traction is louder than any text. When your days click, your energy thickens. You walk like your time matters, because it does. A simple picture. Thermostats and thermometers. Thermometers report the temperature. Thermostats set it. In the vacuum, you stop reporting their weather. Hot when they're hot, cold when they're cold. You set your climate. Calm, purposeful, generous but not leaking. People who want that climate draw close. People who crave storms get bored and leave. Let them. You are not a theme park for emotional tourists. You're building a home for grown intimacy. Won't they think I'm playing games? Only if your silence is venom. Ours isn't. It's kindness with boundaries. If they reach out sincerely, you respond like a human being. You don't punish. You pace. You don't lecture. You listen. You don't audition. You observe. Does effort stay after the nostalgia fades? Do actions land before poetry shows up? The vacuum makes space to see clearly. When noise is gone, patterns get loud. Think about a magnet. It doesn't chase nails across the table. It holds its field, and the nails move. Field first, movement second. Your field is built by small, boring, beautiful promises you keep to yourself. Show up, show care, show standards. You'll feel your voice drop a note. You'll notice your humor returns. The world starts laughing with you again because you stop trying to prove you're worth the laugh. That shift is contagious. They can sense it even in a 3-word reply. Calm has a scent. Let's walk through a day inside the power vacuum so you can taste it. Morning, no scrolling for the first hour. You write 3 wins you'll create, not chase. You move your body, walk, lift, breathe. Anything that proves to your system, we act from strength, not panic. Midday, you catch the urge to check their page, and instead you check your posture. Shoulders set, breath steady, eyes on the thing you're building. Evening, you put the phone in another room and make your space a temple. Clean surfaces, folded clothes, a book instead of the rerun of your thoughts. In between, your replies are simple and sincere. No bait, no cryptic posts. Just evidence you live a life you respect. What happens to them in this space? Not your job. That's the medicine. You finally retire from managing their internal weather. You become unmistakable instead. A landmark, a signal, a steady light on a coastline crowded with flares. Some will keep sailing, one may turn. If they do, you won't be dizzy from spinning. You'll be centered enough to say, "Let's see if our actions fit our words this time." And if they don't come back, The person you became while holding this vacuum is not a consolation prize. They are the prize. You traded noise for discernment, panic for poise, reaction for rhythm. Desire follows rhythm, so does respect. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you what disciplined quiet can build, a life with weight, not wobble. Let your absence teach what your explanations never could. And when you do step forward again, let it be because it serves you, not because fear shoved you. Drop this in the comments so it sticks. I make space. Wear it as your next choice. In the next section, we turn that space into a system. Daily rituals that make your gravity impossible to ignore. Number 3. Rituals that quiet the nervous system. Calm is not found, it's built, brick by brick, choice by choice. My friends, if the power vacuum is the space, rituals are the architecture you raise inside it. Desire respects order. Anxiety respects nothing. When your body is loud, your standards go quiet. When your body is steady, your value speaks for you without a single performance. Think of yourself as a studio that tunes a grand piano every morning. If the strings are tight and true, any note you play rings clean. If the strings are loose, even love songs sound like noise. Today, we tighten the strings. Simple, repeatable moves that make your presence heavier than your impulses. Picture this. You wake before the world begins shouting at you. There's light in the room, not headlines. You stand up, place your feet on the floor, and win the first battle. Don't grab the phone, grab your breath. Inhale like you're pouring air to the bottom of a glass. Exhale like you're setting down a weight you're done carrying. 10 breaths, shoulders descend, jaw unlocks, my heart slows. Already you're sending a message to your nervous system. We act from the center, not from fear. The day hasn't chosen you. You've chosen the day. Now you move the body. Not to punish it, not to impress anyone on a screen, but to prove to yourself that you keep promises. A walk that wakes your spine. Lifts that ask your muscles to remember power. A stretch that tells your joints, I'm here. Motion clears static. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a consistent one. Think of a train leaving the station on time every morning. The destination can change, the departure cannot. When your body learns that rhythm, your mind begins to trust you again. Trusted minds don't chase. They choose. Food becomes part of your field. This isn't a diet lecture. This is your fueling signal over static. Real meals, real water, less sugar that spikes, crashes, and makes you text from panic. There's a quiet pride in making a plate that looks like respect. And there's a reason it matters here. Every crash drags you back into the slot machine of, maybe they replied. You're not a slot player anymore. You're an architect building load-bearing routines. Architects don't need luck, they need focus. Midday is where most people fall apart. The afternoon anxiety hum starts, and the mind tries to check something that isn't your business. Who viewed your story, what they posted, whether they're online. Catch the hand reaching for distraction and reroute it to construction. Tidy a counter. Send one email that moves your work forward. Open a book for 5 pages. 2 minutes of box breathing before any message that tempts you to over-explain. These acts are small on purpose. Big gestures crack under stress. Tiny hinges swing heavy doors. You're teaching your system the pleasure of self-respect in the micro moments where you used to feed it chaos. Evening is where you protect the house. Your room reflects your mind, and your mind reflects your room. Make the bed you're about to sleep in, not tomorrow morning after the damage is done. Clear surfaces so your eyes can rest. Put the phone in a different room, like it's a toddler who needs a nap. Light a candle or turn on a warm lamp. You're telling your survival brain, we're not in a battlefield, we're in a home. People who sleep like they matter carry daylight differently. Their faces soften, their pace slows, their laughter returns. That softness doesn't weaken your gravity, it strengthens it. Calm is the quietest flex in the room. You'll still hear the old voices. This is overkill. One text won't hurt. If I don't say something, they'll forget. Folks, the human mind is a world-class storyteller under pressure. It will sell you distractions as duties. It will dress panic up as honesty. So we anchor to a line that cuts through the noise. I control inputs, not outcomes. You don't control their timing, their weather, or their epiphanies. You control your breath, your movement, your food, your sleep, your reply pace, your environment, and the company you keep. When inputs are strong, outcomes often rise to meet them. And if they don't, you're still winning, because the person you're becoming is better than any attention you could borrow. Let's talk replies, because this is where rituals meet reality. In the space we built, your messages become mirrors of your new climate. Warm, concise, unhurried. No bait, no essays, no hope disguised as sarcasm. A simple, hope you're well when it serves you, not when fear shoves you. Then you return to the life that proves your words. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not distant, you're directed. Clarity is irresistible to people who are ready, and clarifying to people who are not. Consider a final metaphor to carry into tomorrow. You are a garden wall with ivy growing up its side. The wall is your ritual, stable, straight, load-bearing. The ivy is romance, beautiful, alive, worth having, but unable to stand without structure. When most people lose love, they try to save ivy by grabbing leaves. You and I are different now. We built the wall. We add bricks daily. The ivy, if it's meant, returns and climbs. If not, you still have a wall that protects you, a courtyard where peace lives, and a future where love can root without choking you. So yes, they might feel your absence, they might feel your calm, and they might come back curious, even humbled. Good. You'll be ready to meet them from solid ground, not shaky hands. And if they don't? You didn't waste another month rehearsing pain. You built something you can stand inside. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you what a nervous system sounds like when it stops screaming and starts singing. This is the music that draws the right people closer without a single chase. Type this in the comments to lock it into your day. Calm builds gravity. Keep it in your pocket. The next part will turn your value into a visible signal, how to be seen without performing and how to speak without explaining. Number 4, signal value, not availability. Stop advertising attention. Start demonstrating value. My friends, that line changes how you move. People don't come back because you hover. They come back because your life speaks louder than your reminders. Value is quiet and visible. Availability is loud and forgettable. Think of a crowded market. The cheapest booth screams the most. The artisan shop with a line outside doesn't shout at all. It just opens on time, serves with care, and lets the line tell the story. That's your new strategy. Be the shop with a line, not the stall with a megaphone. Here's the fear that sneaks in. If I don't show up constantly, they'll think I don't care. But constant showing up isn't care. It's coverage, like throwing blankets on a fire and wondering why the flame won't breathe. Care has weight, it has edges, it respects your time and theirs. When you signal value, you shift from performing to producing. Instead of daily proof that you exist, you leave evidence that you matter. Work moved forward, health protected, people helped, skills grown, spaces made beautiful. Those are the signals that travel farther than any just checking in. Picture your life as a gallery. Availability is throwing every sketch on the wall with sticky tape. Value is curating one finished piece, framed well, lit right. You don't need 100 posts, 100 texts, 100 explanations. You need one clean move done daily with care. I finished the chapter. I cooked the meal. I called my mother. I hit my workout. These are small sentences with big echoes. They tell a story without you selling it. The right people can hear it through a wall. Let's break a lie. Interest equals access. No, interest equals observation. Consistency earns access. Your time is a velvet rope, not a revolving door. You can be kind without being constant. You can be warm without being wide open. When they do reach out, reflect the climate you've built. Simple, present, unhurried. You answer, but you don't empty your day to prove you're available. You keep your cadence. You hold your frame. You let the conversation breathe. You don't fill every quiet second with a paragraph designed to make them stay. Silence is not danger anymore. It's space for truth to arrive. Think of a bank. The door isn't open at midnight because someone might want a deposit. It opens when it says it will. It has guards, it has cameras, and inside it's order, not chaos. Because the money is real, your value is real. People treat real value with respect when you do. If you treat yourself like a 24/7 kiosk, don't be surprised when they act like everything is free. You're changing that today. You're moving from kiosk to bank. Clear hours, clear policies, and a welcome that feels safe, not needy. Won't that look arrogant? Not if your heart stays soft. Value signaling is not peacocking. It's craftsmanship. It's the way you shake a hand, keep a promise, show up when you said you would, and say, "I can't tonight," without guilt. It's the way you tell a story that centers your purpose, not their curiosity. Had a strong day. Shipped something I'm proud of. That's it. No bait, no breadcrumbs, no secret performance hoping they ask for more. When questions come, you answer. When they don't, you continue. Your life is the magnet. Your words are the label. A simple picture to hold, microphones and amplifiers. Availability tries to turn up the mic, hoping volume creates meaning. Value builds a better song. You rehearse, you tune, you pick the right notes. So when a single sentence leaves your mouth, it lands. You don't need caps lock to be heard. You need coherence. Coherence comes from rhythm, sleep in the bank, food that fuels, movement that grounds, work that compounds, service that softens you. Rhythm is rare. Rare draws eyes. You'll feel the itch to post something spicy, to send a clever line, to peek at their page. It will feel like action, but it's just agitation dressed as strategy. Trade agitation for evidence. Before you touch your phone, ask, what will I leave in the room today that wasn't here yesterday? A cleaned counter, a solved problem, a finished read, a set completed. Then, if you still want to send a message, it will carry the weight of someone whose day already means something. People can smell that through a screen. Calm has a scent, so does chaos. Here's a fun image to keep you honest. Are you the pizza tracker or the chef? The tracker gives minute-by-minute updates. The chef gets the crust right, the heat right, the timing right, then sends out something worth eating. Be the chef. Share outcomes, not oxygen. Done, delivered, booked, built. These tiny signals say, I run a kitchen, not a comment section. They make you interesting without trying to be interesting. And what if they don't notice? Then your signal is still doing the most important job, attracting you back to yourself. Because the best part of value signaling is what it does to your spine. You start walking like your time belongs to you. Your laughter returns because you stopped negotiating your worth. You become easier to be around because you're no longer working for applause. Applause becomes a nice bonus, not your oxygen. If they do notice and step closer, you don't flip back to availability on demand. You keep the rope up and the welcome real. You look for repair, not romance. You measure consistency, not chemistry. You don't rush to fill the silence with your plans for both of you. You let them show you where they've grown, and you show them the life you've been building without turning it into a performance. If it fits, you'll feel the click. If it doesn't, you won't collapse, because your day doesn't vanish when a conversation does. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that you are not a billboard. You are a craft. Crafted people make choices. Crafted people leave proof. Crafted people don't panic when eyes look away. They keep building, and eyes look back when there's something to see. That's how you become the shop with a line, the gallery with a wait list, the person whose presence feels like a steady room in a noisy city. Drop this in the comments to lock it in. Value over volume. Say it once now. Carry it into your next move. Next, we'll lay a mystery on top of value, how to stay honest and kind while keeping just enough unspoken that curiosity does some heavy lifting for you. Number 5. Strategic mystery. Be the wrapped gift. Clarity in values, privacy in details. My friends, that single line is your compass. You don't hide who you are. You simply stop narrating every mile of the journey. Mystery isn't manipulation. It's mature space. It's the difference between a trailer that makes you curious and a movie that spoils itself in the first 5 minutes. When you practice strategic mystery, you become discoverable again. People lean in, they ask, they earn. Picture a city at night. One window glows warm behind half-drawn curtains. You can see a hint of art on the wall, the silhouette of a plant, a shape moving with purpose. You don't know everything, but what you see is tasteful, intentional, alive. That's the energy we're building. Visible quality, invisible itinerary. You show standards. You don't publish schedules. You share themes. You don't dump diaries. Let's break the first lie. If I don't explain, they'll assume the worst. Explanations don't create trust. Behavior does. When your actions are consistent, silence stops looking suspicious and starts looking serene. Second lie. Mystery means I'm playing games. Games bait reactions. Mystery invites questions. You're not pushing buttons, you're protecting bandwidth. Adults with purpose are busy with growth, not drama. A metaphor to keep, the wrapped gift. A gift is most compelling when the wrap is crisp, the ribbon clean, and the weight promises something crafted inside. Oversharing is tearing the paper, rattling the box, and shouting what's inside across the room. Then you wonder why no one's excited to open it. Strategic mystery keeps the paper smooth and the ribbon tight. If they want to know, they will show the level of care that earns the unwrapping. Time, effort, consistency, and respect. How do you live this without feeling like you're shrinking yourself? Start with filters, not fences. Filters protect energy while allowing connection. You can be cordial, present, and honest without overexposure. Had a good day? Training done, work moved forward. That's enough. It's true, it's warm, it respects your momentum. If they're genuinely interested, they'll ask something real. If they're grazing for entertainment, they'll move on. Both outcomes serve you. Another image, museum versus mall kiosk. The mall kiosk waves you down, lists 10 features, offers 5 discounts, and spins a sign. The museum stands still with a strong curation and clear hours. People line up because the collection is worth their time. Your life is a museum. Curate, don't clamor. Choose what represents you at your best. Learning, building, serving, laughing, recovering with grace. These pieces on display are enough. The rest belongs to you and the inner circle that has earned it. You'll feel friction. But what if they misread my silence? Let them. Misreading is part of sorting. If someone requires a live stream of your day to feel secure, they're not ready for a steady bond. If someone values substance, they'll feel your signal in even a few clean words. Calm has a scent. So does coherence. Your quiet coherence will carry farther than those paragraph-long explanations you used to regret sending. Practical boundary language helps. Keep phrases like these in your pocket. I keep my days simple: training, work, and a bit of reading. How's your week treating you? I share more when I see consistency. I like where this is going. I'd rather show you than post it. These lines are polite, grounded, and reveal a principle. Access scales with effort. Here's a thermostat check. Before you post or reply, ask, am I sharing to connect or to control? The connection is clean. Control is anxious. Connection respects time. Control rushes. Connection opens a door. Control tries to herd someone through it. If you feel the herd impulse, pause. Return to your inputs: breath, movement, tasks, order. When your body settles, the need to overshare fades, because you remember you are not a billboard, you are a standard. Let's walk a day with mystery in motion. Morning. You log your non-negotiables: movement, meals, one meaningful task. You take a photo of your book or your shoes by the door, but you don't post it, you live it. Midday. A message lands. You smile, answer warmly in 2 lines, ask one thoughtful question, and then you go back to your build. Evening. You meet friends, try a new place, or cook at home. You take the memory, not the 100 stories. If you share one moment, it's artful, not thirsty. A sunset, a plate you're proud of, a quiet corner with a notebook. No captions that bark, no breadcrumbs that beg. Another metaphor to anchor this: the campfire. People gather around because it's warm and contained. If sparks fly everywhere, folks back up. Your life is the fire. Visible glow, controlled burn. Mystery is the ring of stones that keeps heat where it belongs. You don't owe the forest an explanation. You owe the fire good tending. Will they notice? Often, yes. Curiosity rises in the absence of noise. They might ask, "What have you been up to?" You'll resist the urge to flood the silence with a list. You'll pick one anchor of value and share it. Learning a new skill. Getting back into the gym. Helping a friend launch something. Then you turn the spotlight. How's your world? Watch who loops into real conversation and who simply wants a show. If they return with consistency, your mystery doesn't vanish. It evolves. Instead of privacy from fear, it becomes privacy from abundance. You reveal in layers that match the trust you're building together. You don't pry, you invite. You don't hoard, you pace. Adults earn intimacy by how they handle the small things: time, promises, mess-ups, apologies. When those are right, details unfold naturally without you ever needing to overshare to keep attention. And if they don't return, you didn't waste your voice shouting into a hallway. You invested your voice in your craft, your health, your spiritual spine. That investment compounds. The person you are becoming magnetizes rooms you haven't entered yet. Strategic mystery protects that compound interest. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that you are easy to meet and hard to misuse. That balance is rare, and rare is magnetic. Drop this in the comments to lock it in. Privacy with power. Hold it in your pocket. Next, we'll turn standards into selection. How to evaluate their comeback with clarity so you open the door wisely or close it without shaking. Number 6. The silent ultimatum. My friends, This is where your calm becomes a contract, not a threat, not a game, a quiet line in the sand that says, if you come back right. Picture a bridge at night, solid stone, lit just enough to see the path. The river below is fast and loud, but the bridge doesn't shake for every wave. It carries what it was built to carry, and nothing more. That's you now. You've stopped proving. You've created the power vacuum. You've built rituals. You've signaled value. You've wrapped your life with mystery. Now the question isn't, will they come back? The question is, what does my bridge allow? They might knock with nostalgia, old jokes, old photos, a late night miss you. It's tempting to sprint across that bridge with open arms. But nostalgia is a beautiful historian and a terrible architect. Ask the quiet questions. Are they consistent for weeks, not days? Do actions show up first and poetry second? Are repairs real? Apologies with plans, not apologies with pressure. The silent ultimatum is simple. Match my standard, or the door stays light but closed. You don't slam it, you secure it. You don't lecture, you observe. You don't demand, you decide. Here's a lie to break before it breaks you. If I don't make it easy, they'll give up. People give up on what they didn't truly want, or what they only wanted on their terms. You're not punishing, you're telling the truth about your terms. Terms like steady communication that doesn't vanish. Terms like pace that respects your nervous system. Terms like transparency about intentions, so you're not decoding riddles at midnight. Love without clarity is just chemistry. Love with clarity becomes a home. Think in metaphors that keep you brave. You are a lighthouse that upgraded the bulb. Brighter now, same rock, same rules. Ships passing can admire the light, but only the captain who honors the coastline gets docking rights. Or think of a garden gate, open to those who wipe their feet, close to those who trample beds. The gate isn't angry, it's accurate. Accuracy is kindness to your future. Why is holding this line so hard? Because fear masquerades as compassion. You'll hear the voice, they're trying, don't be rigid. Maybe this time is different. What if I scare them away? My friends, anything scared by clarity wasn't here for intimacy. It was here for access. You are not denying love. You're denying confusion. The moment you trade your standard for a chance, you teach them how to love you, conditionally, temporarily, on a discount. And discounts feel good at the register and bad in your bones. Let's make it practical. When they reach out, meet them like a thermostat, warm, steady, and set. You respond within the rhythm of your life, not the panic of your past. If they ask to meet, you suggest a time that doesn't wreck your routine. You show up clean, no scripts, no performance, no bait. You ask simple questions that weigh a ton. What's different this time? What does consistency look like to you? How do we repair, not repeat? Then you listen for verbs, not violins. Anyone can sing you a song. You're looking for scaffolding. If they bristle at boundaries, believe the bristle. If they label your calm cold, believe the label. If they push you to hurry, remember that speed is the favorite mask of avoidance. Slow people can still move with purpose. Fast people can still go in circles. You are building in the direction of peace, not adrenaline. And if they do show up right, steady, honest, humble, don't rush to erase the past with an instant future. Let time reveal what talking cannot. Give yourselves small promises and keep them. Meet, debrief, adjust. Treat love like craft, not fireworks. Fireworks are loud, bright, and gone. Craft is quiet, precise, and worth keeping. Here's another image to carry into your next choice. Magnets and nails. Magnets don't plead, they align. The field is the work you've done, your health, your habits, your purpose, your presence. If a nail is true, it comes home to that field and holds. If it's bent, it slides. You do not sand yourself down to catch bent metal. You keep your field and let the metal tell on itself. You might ask, what if they never come back? Then the silent ultimatum did its holiest job. It saved you from a loop and returned you to a life. You will miss what was real, and you will not miss what was noise. Your days will keep stacking evidence that peace is not a consolation prize, it is the prize, and you'll learn the most liberating truth. You didn't build standards to win them, you built standards to become you. So show them, show yourself, show the world around you that you can love without losing your frame. Walk into rooms slower, speak shorter, hold eye contact longer, laugh easier. Let your life be a room with good light and strong chairs, welcoming but not collapsible. If they return and honor the room, it will be beautiful. If they don't, you're still home. Type this in the comments so it anchors to your day. Standards, then love. Say it out loud. Wear it into your next decision. And if this helps you breathe easier and stand taller, press the like button, subscribe for more, and share this with someone who needs their calm back. Stay with me. The next chapter is where we turn this standard into daily momentum you can feel in your body and see in your results.